immediately blank. From riches to rags there for 628.
Yeah, Deadeye guys play that one pretty nicely, but I think that's what comes down to it. If you can find nades early in the game, I'm not sure 628 were expecting that. They get naded around the corner. One of their big angles gets taken out, which is on the side of the warehouse. And after that, that aggressive push over the top of those crates, no longer becomes as effective because you don't have that backup. And then a really nice flank around the side from Deadeye's guys, and 628 is put to bed nice and quickly.
The Galaxy. I mean, vying for positioning on pot. So next to Down One Gaming. Right now, not in the next circle. We'll have to shoof a little bit southeast. Let's go with that. It's a word now.
Yeah.
And we will all pretend like it's a word so that I don't get embarrassed.
That's fine. We will do it. I will ask Oxford Dictionary to add that one to the list.
I'll tweet
NFTs recently. We'll have shoof next. That's just how it works. We like to put made-up things in the dictionary, apparently, these days. D. Xavier, down towards the eastern side of the map. They're holding this eastern side on both Erangel now as well as Miramar, so it seems to be a comfortable position. I like this. I mean, last game as well, they had a pretty good solid game plan, which was like clear out that eastern side if the circle goes east, and then play from that side knowing that there's no one really playing from your back because you've already cleared that area. So I think that Xavier, they have a good game plan ahead of them. It's just executing it, which is becoming the difficulty for them. And I do think there was a little bit of panicking towards mid-game on our angle there, and hopefully, that is just first game jitters coming through from the guys on Dear Xavier. This is now the global stage. I'll say it again. It does add that stress to the mix. Luckily, or unluckily, these guys aren't on land, so you don't have all that pressure of the crowd behind you. You don't have all that pressure of like being in person. So you can just chill a little bit with your team, but I imagine still tensions will be running hot within any room that these guys are playing in.
Yeah, but I like LAN, so let's bring it back. I'm ready. Not quite yet, actually. Oh man, I can't wait for it. But for now, you're right. The players get that sort of field of calm that they can create for themselves.
Yeah. I mean, Darth Dante is a great example of this, just playing in his room with a blanket on his head. That guy is the real G, and, I need him back at some point. That's all I'm saying.
We'll have to try and make that happen, Or maybe he'll have to try harder to make it happen, get to those PMGC finals, because...
blanket interview.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Under the blanket. It's your segment,
yeah,
right? Under the blanket.
My segment,
you invite people into your pillow fort.
Yeah, dude. It'd be cool. I'd be lit by candlelight as well.
Oh, that's dangerous.
It is dangerous. Well, I like to live life on the edge of the
That's a health and safety violation. I'm going to have to cancel your segment, I'm afraid.
Oh, damn it. Okay, well. It was short-lived, but so far, this game, the only people short-lived in it is 628 going down so early on. Down to 15 teams now alive. Doopy 60. Cryptics all the way down towards the southwest, down to Via de Mar. A lot of these teams not really risking their lives too much. I like that Picardo didn't really get hit on too hard. A lot of these teams were like, Picardo's going to be a real hot spot, and we don't want to get our feet scalded, so let's not drop in there yet. And it turns out no one wanted to do it. But you do have 4 rivals as well. Tong Jabao just circling around this area. Tong Jabao currently employing a 2-2 split at the moment, down towards the north side of Los Leones. You got 4 rivals on your screen. They're just the north side of Tong Jibao's 2-2. So we will see what they can get done. But this is a really good position just to the south of Picardo. Has a lot of sight lines that they can use to their favor. They can also dip behind the ridgeline should they need to. And they have that big cliff just underneath San Martin to their backs to give them cover.
BC Swan mounting the hills just to the northeast of Los Leones. Everybody else just biding their time. I feel like on Miramar, and we've spoken about this quite a lot in the past, Blank, on Miramar, keeping 4 alive gives you so much power towards these later circles because you can control the ground, and it is a very terrain-heavy map. And so you have more of those outposts, you have more of those sightlines covered, the more strength you're going to have. We saw what Tong Jiabao were able to do with sightlines in that last game. If they're able to keep all 4 in the mix, well, they might just be able to do it again. They're fairly central.
Yeah, I think that you're completely right. I think having 4 members alive on Miramar is extremely important just because of how big this map is. Even those final circles, there is still a large amount of landmass that you need to cover, not in terms of like even distance on foot, but also in terms of like what angles can you hope to hold. And a lot of times if you have 4 members, you can take more aggressive positions within the circle. And if you're down to like 2, you're going to have to play a much more closed off area. Which tends to come back to bite you a lot of times, really depending where we end up, especially if we end up towards the field side. If you have 4 players, a lot of times, you know, you can kind of make like that firing line and just sweep down like a rake over that area and try and take out the teams that way. So it is very, very important to keep these players alive. And just anything from last game, we know these teams are good at avoiding one another in that early game, being able to find position in the map, you know, pressure each other a little bit, force rotations that teams might not quite like, but a lot of times people don't go down. So really this is all about just positioning those pieces on the board to your favor at the moment.
Rico Infinity team trying to position themselves out on the western edge. No one really to guard behind them. They should be just fine. Cryptics taking a little bit of tick damage from the blue. They're moving around near the south coast right now. I'm going to be swinging in behind teams on that south side of Los Leones. Not too many teams in the Chumacero Hills though, so they should be fairly open. Bigatron, who went down early last game, they are going to have to play from a similar position as well. Look at this, the mass migration towards those Los Leones hills. Everybody's starting to crunch in.
Yeah, MS John Burry as well, heading up like a nice little position towards the south side. But BC Swell, it's just him inside the shack versus Nova. It does find one. Paraboy goes low, but Zusti coming over the top of the hillside now. Paraboy has to be careful, drops the smoke. Might just be able to get away here, John.
Uh-oh, not going to happen. Paraboy gets taken down on the knock. Not going to get flushed just yet. Order in to potentially save the day. King riding on up in the buggy. Paraboy very, very low. Jimmy bleeding out as well. Paraboy probably prio at this stage, but Zussi gets backed off by the players from... there's Xavier chiming on in as Paraboy does get flushed by Lamborghini. So that's a point given over. Jimmy will be rezzed here. Just this down, crawling away from this fight. As Xavier plays spoiler to the push. BCS going to have to be more careful.
And this is what I'm talking about as well from Xavier. They've already cleared out the entirety of the eastern side. Now they can take this fight with impunity. They know there's absolutely no one in this area. Duck's going behind. This is a beautiful flank. Needs to just buy time with it though. Can't get too aggressive. Skylar flies off the other side. It feels like BC Swell, they might just have given up on this fight. They know there's a new member joining the party. Jimmy takes some tickle damage.
They don't want to be involved here. King in the shack still, swings out wide as Jimmy gets knocked on the off angle. To another player coming on through. A nade goes long as well, and there's the spray. Xavier just absolutely giving it right now. The hillside, wrested from everybody else's control. I mean, you've got Stalwart still on the northern side of them, who are yet to pass La Bandita, and they're not really close enough to give them too much worry. The blow up on the vehicle's good, and Lamborghini finds a second kill on the fight. Nova get eliminated. That's 2 Chinese teams out, Black.
Oh, so easy. Jason's got a bead on this one. Cursed all the Chinese teams coming into this. You know, he said that, do you think there's going to be 3 in the end? And look, man, it's not, you just don't say it. You don't say those type of things. The boys, they try to back you down, but you didn't listen. You didn't listen, man.
Oh.
And now it's all gone wrong. 2 Chinese teams are out now. Tong Jibao, last remaining from the PEL squads. See what they can do with it. I mean, they looked very strong last game. They have extremely central position here to strike out on either side like a trained boxer.
That was what was talked about, right, by the desk, by us in that last game, is Chong Jiabao's ability to play in a solid formation on a strong position. And this is exactly what they've been afforded yet again, Blank. It looks good for them right now. It looks like they might be on for another one. But they still have plenty of teams standing in their way. 14 teams remain.
Yeah, they're playing it safe as well. They're in a position where they can quite easily leave Los Leones, but they're not committing too hard just yet. Bigatron down towards the south side. They're just slowly and casually, you know, floating around those mountains, seeing what they can get done. They don't want to go too fast into this one. You know, if you're learning from any of the mistakes from last game, you know, they were way too quick with it. All right, they had fire coming off the back of their heels, but it ultimately burnt them in the end, with them flying through 4 rivals and taking some shots, and then just going into an area that just was unscouted. It reminds me a lot of Unicorns of Love towards the beginning of their tournament in the Western Europe. But they did fix that pretty quickly. I think BTR, with all the experience on hand, Zuxi from Ryzen, as well as Zuxi and Luxi, they should be okay.
More than shift. Treacherous. Teams on the south are on board right now with Reject, who they're mentioning they want to see a little bit more for here on Miramar. Moment, not really getting into too many scraps, too many scuffles, staying alive, all four of them. Centrally, sorry, on the western edge, this is Rico Infinity team clashing with Deadeye guys who were able to take down 628 early, but there's a knock going out that way. A long-range spray. Looks for the shots and actually might be able to get the flush here.
Just a few...
okay, just gonna land a couple.
Yeah, just a couple. Just a few pre-fires as well, but Day1 Gaming can move on Rico Infinity team now as well. Would have heard those shots. And Ass on his own. Forest and Sung looking to find him, but he's right on the outskirts, looking to ninja with it.
Ooh, spots Fabian there. On the broadside as well. Easy spray down for Anas. And here's SK Tom with the off angle, looking for those vehicles, looking for the cover. It's looking good right now. Nades could potentially be popped in, and Anas has a really strong outpost. The difficulty is if he gets knocked, if he gets overwhelmed here, the rest of the team isn't going to have the best of times getting back in to save him. So Anas needs to be careful. Nades getting cooked and actually in a fairly covered off spot.
Yeah, honestly, Anas has bought so much time here for the rest of Rico Infinity team, and this push is coming in too slow. There's a nice shot coming from Junie on the offside. Really well played. Will take down SK Ton, and this way Fabian can get back to the rest of the team. I do like that Rico Infinity team was trying to prioritize taking down vehicles and lock Day1 Gaming into this fight, into a 3v4, but Junie, he's got his thing to say about this. Currently there is a res coming through onto SK Ton, but he goes very low once again as he gets picked back up. But Anas just playing around these windows, wonderfully done. Day1 Gaming's Fabian just about makes it to the wall, but SK Ton might take the shots, and he does. There's no return fire.
Yeah, Fabian gonna get flushed on out. Day1 Gaming down to 3 confirmed now. In the meantime, Cryptix and Enigma Galaxy both moved up from the south side to the north side of this fight. They swung around the outskirts and are gonna look to move through. The Nate's still looking to get cooked. No one wants to make the first move here, but Forest has to push up this ridge side. Day1 Gaming on the outside track on the circle here. You can see the outpost is good for Rico Infinity team as they move around. They get ahead of the game. Difficult push for Anas and needs to be careful. Thinks better of the route, moves back up to the building, past that smoke, gets back to cover, knows the team has his back.
Massive southeast shift here as well, so Rico Infinity team, they've got a fair way to go. They're right on the outskirts of the western side of the circle. Day1 Gaming just kind of have to retreat and get out of there, but Rico Infinity team, they set themselves up so they've got eyes on all the vehicles that Day1 Gaming brought to the party. The Day1 Gaming, they're going to be on foot from now on. The Infinity trying to take shots over towards their sister Infinity team, but, you know, it's not going to happen. I'm going to drop back just a little bit. Labandita, this rough, rocky terrain up in this area on the eastern side. A little bit of compounds available, but quite open space with that road bisecting the middle of this circle. Tongjiabao, they move up to a slightly elevated position. 4 rivals also taking shots down towards the Deadeye guys.
Getting 1 knock, looking for more. Taking down the buggy potentially as well. Smokes bloom. Discipline from Deadeye guys.